Alright, now we got the block all washed up and clean and ready for final assembly. We got the ACL bearings for the mains and rods. And of course, the rods and the pistons are all done and prepped. So we're assembling the block right here. We're gonna drop the crank in and of course, do the usual. We torque it and all the good stuff. And you got this interesting, right? I mean, you got this ready for you. And of course, the pistons with the holder here. We're gonna assemble it our way, and you know that's something you love checking it out, and we're gonna show you the step by step and also look at those dome, right? So hey, let's finish assembling this bottom end. Alright, first things first, everyone knows our new page is up and running, it's all good, and we even, for the locals, we got the price list there for the basic work that we do and all the labor. And of course, as you can see here, we post all kinds of stuff that we do during the day, like the typical shop updates or day by day. And of course, we even link up some of the videos from here. You can see here, we even post up reels, some video clips that never make into a video in the channel. We still post it there because hey, sharing is caring. So hey, like and follow, guys. Link will be in the description below. Alright, so where were we? Oh yeah, onto the pistons. Here, this frame was actually inspired, or actually I got the idea from Spoon Sports because as I was checking all their pictures, of course, naturally for me, I was paying attention on the engines and I saw they have this kind of stance. So hey, practical application, right? So we had one made like that because it's kind of useful. Okay, so now here, thrust washers and the ACL race bearings. We're gonna put it here so you guys can see it. And let's put the pistons on its place here slowly. Sorry about the sound, it's currently raining right now. Alright, there you go. Okay, piston number 1, then number 2. Yes sir, yes sir. Alright. Sorry, you guys can hear the rain. It's raining now again. Tropical country. Alright, and then number 4. Okay, now here, the one thing I want to talk about, something really important that's often overlooked, is the assembly loop. Not the assembly loop itself, but here, look, let me show you. Under the pistons, the piston pin and the rod small end, this is not oiled initially on first to start up. So you're gonna either gall the piston pin or scar it and all that. So we try to put assembly lube here. This way it's pre-lubricated, sorry, during startup, the initial startup before the oil gets to throw up there. This way it's well lubricated. And some would say, oh, it's fine and all that. All right, then run a rough piston pin. Why is it smooth, right? So we inverted it this way, the assembly lube gets to stay in place, and it's gonna be good. It won't drip off. Now we time lapse this because it's gonna get a little boring. All right, yes sir. Now it's gonna be almost done for all of it. All 4 piston pins are well lubricated now. All right, now we go with the rod bearings. Okay, we gotta start putting the ACL race rod bearing on the rod itself. There, the first half, and then onto the rod caps. Okay, one by one. Okay, there, number 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4. Okay, now, we put the piston rings off camera, and yeah, sadly, it actually tore my black latex or whatever gloves. So, yep, I'm on bare hands right now, but the rods are well oiled, so it's not gonna rust. See, bare hands. Okay, now let's get this. Let's go head on to the block for the crankshaft. Let's go, let's go. Let's get the block ready. All right, now here with the shop towel or a paper towel, we wipe everything clean, even the bearing saddles. This way it's clean and dry without any debris. Double check with your own hands. I make sure when it comes to assembling engines like this, because you can never be too clean. All right, that's getting good. Okay, let me unclip the phone and show you guys. Here we go. Look at that. Yes, sir. It's clean and ready for the ACL main bearings. Race main bearings, all right? Okay, let's clip it again. Okay, here. Okay, with time lapse could be faster. There you go. Now, the Torco assembly lube. Very important. Okay, we lavishly lube the mains. This way, on initial startup, the bearings are fine, you know. And trust me, I've disassembled a lot of locally rebuilt engines, and they all showed the same initial wear from dirt or from debris. That means it wasn't assembled clean enough and wasn't lubricated well enough for startup. So it probably wasn't primed at all, right? Okay, there you go. Now it's ready for the crank. We drop it in. Here we go. Yes, sir. Carefully. There. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now we get the thrust washer. Here it is. Can we open it? And we install it, of course, with the groove side out. All right. Make sure the groove side is facing outward, or as my colleague says, the groove should face the metal, not aluminum, so that it has to face the crank outwards. All right, there you go. Come on. Turn it. Oh, I can't push it. There you go. All right, we'll pull it there. You can get the thrust washer facing outward again. All right, there you go. All right, now we're ready. Now we're ready for the main caps. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, but wait, we gotta lubricate the main journals first. All right, here we go. Come on. There can never be too much assembly lube because on startup, this is dry. It takes a while to prime and get the oil or the main bearings and rod bearings oiled up. So now we go with the main caps 1 and 5 and also the center. We torque all the mains, the center and the 1 and 5 to 22 feet-pounds torque. That's the first step, okay? So we get this to 22 first. And then, of course, the rest in proper sequence, of course. Yes, sir. All right. And now one more. And then number 1 cap and number 5 cap. We go again. Here, 22. All right. Yes, sir. Okay. Yep, the clicking sound is really, really addicting, actually, when you think about it. All right. The first step is all done now. Let's go, let's go. Okay, now step 2 on the center is 49 feet-pounds torque. All right. Yes, and we time lapse the other ones, 2 and 3. There you go. And then the 1 and 5 is actually 56 feet-pounds torque. It's higher. All right. Sir, you can hear the clicking sound is a lot louder, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And now that's it. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Now let's turn the crank. Let's see. Because, of course, it's with the assembly loop, so it's got to be thicker. But, hey, look. It spins really lightly. Really good. Oh, yeah. This is going to be real, real good. So we turn the block now. We start prepping it for the pistons. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let me show you something why being too clean is just right. Look at that, so clean, right? But look, see? As we assembled the crank onto the mains, assembly lube dripped all the way down to the bore. So you gotta wipe that with the shop towel. And then, of course, people may wonder why we always have WD-40. It has multiple use. I use WD-40 to final wipe the cylinder bores. This is because it lubricates it well enough, but it's not too slippery that it prolongs the ring sitting in or the piston rings wearing into the new bore. So that's one of the reasons why our break-in period is virtually almost like, no need. It just seats in well. So wiping it good and clean. Okay, now let's go to the workbench and get the pistons. Let's go. And here we are. We get the ring compressor here, and then the ratchet handle, the ATF mix, and of course, number one piston and rod, and the cap, of course. Let's go, let's go. Let's go to the stand now. All right, so here we are. We get this piston number one carefully into the bore. Yes, sir. Then we tap the ring compressor. This way we know it's vertical or perfectly aligned. And then we tighten it one more click. Usually it gives one more click. This way we know it's really in tight, compressed in tight. I mean, right there you go. Okay. Okay, now we tap it with the with asserted force. All right, there you go. Now we turn the block and then we put on the rod cap. Here you go. You can see the assembly loop is right there. It's well lubed. All right, so we get this quicker because we go with a time lapse soon because we gotta put this hand tight. All right, there you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna torque this later when everything is installed properly. Okay. Yes, sir. All right. Now here we are with piston number two and the rod cap, of course. Let's go back to the engine or the engine stand. Sorry. All right. Carefully, we get the number two piston and on its respective bore. Yes, sir. Tap it so it's well aligned. Yes. Okay, now we're just gonna time lapse this because it's gonna take too long. All right, there you go. Now it's the rod caps. Turn it. Yes, sir. Just in case anyone is wondering, we lubricate the rod cap side bearing, not the crank itself. So when we put it there, the bearing is already lubricated prior. That's why we just install it like this. All right, let's go. Now let's go on and get piston number three. Let's go, let's go. The rod caps. All right, let's go to the engine stand once again. Okay, now we drop in piston number three. Yes, sir. Go the rod caps. We go this on the intake and exhaust. I mean, yeah, the intake and exhaust side because there's a girdle, so there's a way. It's obstructing it. So yep, this is how we do it now. Okay, now we get the last one, piston number four. Let's go, let's go. And the rod cap, don't forget that. We can't really install without it. All right, now we drop in the pistons, quite snug. Yes, sir. Turn it, and then the rod caps. All right, lubricate the rod bolts well. Just hand tight. Okay, now we torque the ITR rods to 33 feet-pounds of torque. All right. Yes, sir. We make sure we double check and we loosen it a bit and double check it with 33. Okay, there. Yes, sir. A bit more. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, you sure there? Okay, now we time lapse the rest because it's gonna take forever if we're gonna play it like normal speed. So, yep. Now here it is. Then we turn the crank to do the other side. Yes, sir. There you go. Okay, now it's all done. Now let's turn the block so we can turn the crank and, let's look at the pistons and how the whole thing looks. Oh, yeah. And it sounds really good. That's the sound of power. It's gonna be making power. Because, of course, it has a brand new bore finish and worked by Edmel, of course. And man, the brand new rings sound really good in it, Yes, sir. That's the sound of what's gonna make good power. Ooh, look at those dome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is gonna be really, really good. And man, the Gen 2 sleeves, the ductile sleeves, they look really, really good, right? Yes, sir. And now, let me show you something on the desk, something really, really cool. Like I always did say, and even on a stock rebuild, we opened up the oil pump and blueprinted. We check all the side plate clearance, make sure it's like as good as new. This way you have good oil pressure. This is always free when we're rebuilding an engine, but if you guys want to send your oil pump to us, it's 5,000 pesos for the locals. We'll also have this video in the description below. This is what we did to the oil pump. This comes with all the labor. This is part of the package we do when we rebuild engines. So this is not an extra if it's actually a rebuild. So comment down below if you guys have any questions on how we build or we assemble this bottom end, and of course any suggestions, because we're gonna be installing the head on the next episode, and of course we're gonna try to improve the content every single time we upload for you guys. So hey, feel free to ask. I always try to answer all the questions in the comment section below, and of course once the next episode is ready, you're gonna click here for that.